I would ask this question honestly, but I don't think I can do it without rolling my eyes. Any other veterans out there frustrated with the VA? Do you have a love-hate relationship with them? Let's talk about mine. All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about my love-hate relationship with the VA. I'm just going to give you my own personal perspectives on this. I think a lot of people will be able to identify with a lot of these, and we'll just see where this goes. I know that this is not fact and information gathering like I do on my other videos, but I think this is something important to share among other veterans. So if you do like this video, like, share, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps get the word out to other veterans. Also, if you don't mind, let the video run to the end. That gives YouTube the ability to put it back top of the list for when people are searching for veterans information. And it helps get me closer and closer to the point where I'm reaching so many veterans that it's just an unbelievable experience, right? I don't care about the money. I don't care. I don't need the income. I just want to be able to reach veterans. All right, let's jump right into it. I've got some notes down here as usual, and I'm going to go. I got 10 talking points to discuss when it comes to my personal love-hate relationship with the VA, right? First one is accessibility of benefits. There are a lot of benefits out there for veterans, and those veterans are, you know, they're in need of some of these things: health care, home loans, financial assistance on the side, voc rehab, education, life insurance, a lot of different things out there that veterans can really tap into. That's the love side of it. The hate side of that is that the process is absolutely nuts to get some of these things. The VA just frustrates the crap out of me, and I'll give you an example. I had a VA copay for medications for one of my unrelated or you know, unconnected, non-service connected issues that I go see the VA for. So my medications I have to give copays on, and I have private insurance, so that helps a whole lot. But I go out to the website and it says I owe 41 bucks. And I know my medications cost 20 or less per month right now with just my copays. So I'm thinking, 43 bucks, what is that all about? So I look back and I go through the statements, and it does not match up. It does not add up. The numbers do not match. So I called the helpline, and when I get on the helpline, this guy says, oh yeah, the website's only updated once a month. And I'm thinking, well, that's stupid. You know, I mean, realistically, accessibility to all of my benefits and understanding my costs, that's not really there. So that's my frustration. Second one, quality of care. So for quality of care, I will say that the VA has improved greatly in my area, in the Oklahoma City area, over the last 5, 6 years, 8 years, maybe 8 or 9 years. It's gotten better and better and better at, you know, giving me the quality of care that I'm looking for in a health provider specifically, right? So in the health provider space, I've been able to get everything very, very close to me at a clinic instead of having to go to the main hospital, which is a trigger point for me. So I need to, you know, make sure I do as much as I can at home or in my hometown instead of making the trek to the main VA hospital. Quality of care has been really kind of good. The problem is that I've gone to different facilities around the metro area, and there is so much inconsistency between those clinics. I go to one clinic, it's very easy to understand. It's very much happening the right way. You check in at one location or you check in at the other. They're easy to explain where they're at. People are helpful. I went to another one, and I'm not going to name these facilities just because I'd rather just go out and talk to them myself about that. I go to this other facility, and I walk in, and they're on the second floor, but they're also on the third floor. And I don't know which one to go to. The directions that the VA gave me for my appointment do not say. So I go to the second floor. I wait in a line of 15 veterans. There's 35 sitting in seats. You know, again, it's just a different experience, right? So quality of care has some serious inconsistencies that need to be addressed. All right, number 3, claims process. Yeah, I think we all know how I feel about the claims process. The claims process has gotten better because you can do a lot of these things online now. And there's a lot of information that's accessible online. The claims process, that's the part that I love. The part that I hate about the claims process is it's so convoluted and it changes a lot. And not major changes, but there's minor changes in the background that happen a lot. Right now we're going through this thing where next April we're going to have some disability ratings that are changed. The mental healths and all the others that have recently gone into effect. There's a lot of changes coming, right? And keeping on top of that is something that I can understand why not only veterans, but some VSOs are going, man, I'm just trying to keep up with all the changes that are going on. So VA, claims process, clean it up, make it easier. Why does it have to be so difficult, honestly? Next one, let's talk about community and camaraderie. Now, I only know a few veterans in town. Personally, I don't know any of them from when I served, but I do know a few veterans in town here and there. And, I'll run into them at the clinic or I'll run into them at the hospital or another location. And I'll be able to sit down and go, hey man, how's it going? Just kind of touch base with other veterans and try and keep that connection alive. And if you're a veteran that has felt left out and lost since you got out of the service, and you do go to the VA, find somebody to talk to there. It'll help a whole lot, right? I've been connected to a few very, very good people. So there's a lot of community and camaraderie. Where's the hate side of that? What I hate to do is I hate to walk into the hospital for, radiological, let's just say. We're going in for x-rays or a CT exam. And I sit down and I see a guy I know and I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And he goes, well, it's my 5th time here because the VA can't figure out where to get the right pictures or which pictures to get. So there's a lot of what goes along with community and camaraderie is that community can become, for lack of a better term, a bitch session. And we don't need that. We need to help encouraging one another, right? So veterans, get out there, meet other veterans, stay in touch with them. Honestly, it helps. Number 5 is technological advancements. I talked about this a little bit before. Listen, I'm really excited that the VA can do all their claims online. I can schedule appointments with my specific clinics, not every clinic, but with specific clinics and specific doctors online. I can message my provider without calling, leaving a message, waiting for a call back. All those things are great. But again, the technological advancements come with some bullcrap behind them, right? I can't figure out what my balance is every month without calling into the VA to find out what I owe for medications. That just seems so dumb and such a bad waste of time. Listen, keep advancing VA, but start listening to veterans, because if you don't notice the problems that are out there that we see, we're going to keep bringing them up to you. All right, number 6, mental health services. I have participated in the VA's mental health services for healthcare. I really do take good advantage of that. I've gone through some specific training. I've gone through what's called CPT, which is cognitive processing therapy. I have a whole set of videos about that, a whole playlist on my CPT adventure. Now, what I really don't like though, and this is starting to change, but it's not changing completely, is that there are some strings you have to pull still to get into mental health. I mean, you can go into mental health and you can ask for some support and they'll be like, yeah, we can fit you in January of 2025. That doesn't work for a lot of veterans. I will tell you one thing. If you're having a mental health crisis and you're a veteran, go to your ER. Tell them you're a veteran. Tell them you're under VA health care. They will take care of that. The Veterans Administration has committed that they will take care of emergency care for veterans' mental health. Now, as soon as you've sought out that treatment and you've gone through the emergency care process and your crisis is over, your major crisis is over, the VA will expect you to come back into the Veterans Administration healthcare and get taken care of there. All right. Number 7, the appeals process. I love that there's an appeals process. I hate how long it takes and how complicated and convoluted, and one step is allowed here, but you can go to this one as well, but you can never go back to here. It's just too convoluted, quite honestly. VSOs. VSOs is number 8. Some VSOs are really, really good, and some VSOs really, really are not that good. The only way I see this getting fixed, quite honestly, is for the VA to start putting more and more heavy standards into not only knowledge, tool set, familiarity, but soft skills as well. You know, teach these VSOs how to talk to other veterans and be straight with them, instead of, oh yeah, we'll go claim that your left pinky toe has no toenail on it. We know that's not going to happen. So why are you even talking about it, right? Or, hey, I see that your arm's hanging off and I know that was from service, but we're not going to be able to connect that. Listen, there are good VSOs, there are bad VSOs. If you don't like the VSO you have now, find another one. They're everywhere. Number 9, coverage and benefit expansion. The VA is constantly adding more coverage for people. I will take into effect the PACT Act, right? Or into consideration the PACT Act. The PACT Act opened up people of my generation and forward for Gulf War that we can go seek healthcare for all kinds of other things now. We can be rated for other things now. We're really getting to a point where we're starting to really, really base in and say, hey, look, all of our veterans need care. Now, with that, coverage and expansion, benefit expansion, in my humble opinion, everybody who's ever served deserves to have health care. In my humble opinion, anybody who's ever served really deserves to have that service semi-local to them, or the ability to go to a doctor locally in a rural area where it doesn't have to be, oh no, you're going to have to go to the VA hospital for that that's 86 miles away, right? They need to get better at that, quite honestly. And number 10, this is my favorite one, bureaucracy. Close this iPad and get rid of this. The bureaucracy of the Veterans Administration. First of all, C&P exams are not in your health record, but your health record is in your C-file. So this is the conundrum, right? You can go to a C&P exam and get a diagnosis, but that diagnosis does not carry from VA Benefits Administration over to the VA Healthcare Administration. You still need to go into VA Healthcare and say, hey, look, I'm rated for this. I need to be seen about this, because then you have a medical record with the VA. So there are some serious bureaucracy problems, like, hey, that's benefits problems. Hey, that's healthcare's problems. Man, unite this thing, right? I understand they have to operate as different businesses because they're different business units and they have different functions, but until they start matching and working properly for everybody, and we're able to take advantage of, we walk into a VA doctor, we ask them for a DBQ, and nobody argues with you. They're supposed to give you a DBQ if you ask for it. But I've been argued with about that multiple times. Hey, I just got this breathing capacity test done, which is real for me, as you can tell. But I asked the doctor for a DBQ, and she was like, well, I don't really do those here. And I said, well, according to the VA secretary, you do. And I had to have a back and forth and an argument with that doctor about that. That's just not cool, man. Start getting your doctors trained up, your VSOs trained better. Find out where this disconnect is between healthcare and benefits and fix the dang thing. That's all I got for you today. Thanks. Take care of each other.